at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast. What is going on, Clint Nation? Happy Thirsty Thursday to you all, wherever you may be. We're going a little bit later on this Thursday if you're watching live. If you're not watching live, it's the same time you would have watched it either way. But on today's show, we're talking about, you guessed it, your Los Angeles Dodgers. The Dodgers apparently, reportedly, nearing a contract extension with Dave Roberts, as we knew, as we expected. Myself, producer Kevin, will be talking about that in just a second. Plus, there are more roster cuts out of Camelback. Shohei might be slowing down the pitching build-up and progression. We'll talk about that. Another solid outing for Dustin May. And we haven't talked about Mookie Betts at shortstop for a little bit, so we should kind of maybe glaze up Mookie so far on his ascension into becoming an actual major league shortstop. All that and more in another edition of the All Dodgers podcast. That is the guy I mentioned earlier. That is producer Kevin. Follow him on the social media at Skinner7Kevin. And how come my button? There it is. That's what I wanted. I wanted our names on there so people know who we are and what we're about. But late night for you in Chicago. How you feeling, dude?
Yeah, good. Just catching up on the Kendrick Perkins, Charles Barkley beef.
I saw that. What is? We don't need to get too detailed about it, but I saw TNT, NBA, whatever, had to pull a clip so they wouldn't get beefed with the ESPN. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, because Charles Barkley started calling out his future employer, which is that's a bold strategy, and that's a privileged position when you can do that and most likely keep your job. I aspire to do that one day.
Hey, listen, you get to do this show in the kitchen. You still get to keep your job because it's not really a job. It's more of a hangout, and every once in a while I throw a couple bucks your way when I can. But guys, sound off in the comments. Let us know how you're feeling tonight. Let us know how you're feeling about these Dodgers who rattled off another win today against insert team here. I forgot who they played. Rangers. That's right. Without Corey Seager or the legendary Jock Peterson.
Boo! Double boo! How could they?
But friends in the chat, I see our boy Kevin Uhas, Noah Ortega in the chat, Ella Sheva Jones, Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights, what's going on? BC in the chat. I see AMC, they used to make a fine vehicle. William Andrews says, sup Clint, how you doing, William? Good to see you here. Maddie Man 5 Dodge, our friend Diane Schroeder, and whenever I see Diane, that reminds me, hey guys, like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel. Again, we're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers before opening day. It might be a bit of a reach. It'd be cool if you can help us do it. Something that should be happening before opening day. Let's dive into the latest out of Camelback Ranch. Let's dive into the Dave Roberts contract talk because we could see a Doc contract coming pretty dang soon. And this comes from the New York Post. Joel Sherman and everybody's favorite John Heyman also tweeting about it. Expected to be a record-setting deal for Dave Roberts. Not surprising for us at all. Things we've talked about. We knew, you got to put premium fuel when you're driving that Ferrari, and Dave is kind of that guy, I guess. But do you think this thing happens before the weekend? Obviously, we're not insiders here, but do you think this happens before the weekend? Do you think they announce it in Tokyo or maybe back in LA? How soon do you think this ends up getting out?
I'm hoping they do it like tonight. That'd be pretty
tonight
cool.
While we're live?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Like, it'll be before Tokyo, I'm guessing. Probably this weekend is my guess. They don't really do the whole pomp and circumstance thing. I at least not that I can remember.
I mean, yes and no. They've kind of done it where they'll, if Jock Peterson could get a press conference with the what's it called with the Texas Rangers when he signs a deal there, I think Dave Roberts should get a presser with the front office and media and all that kind of stuff. So I do think they kind of blow it up a little bit. And the best spot
I meant in terms of the timing of things.
Gotcha. So,
yeah, Doc will he'll get a press conference for sure, but
yeah.
I don't know if they'll. Yeah, maybe they sign it and then they announce it officially in Tokyo, like you said.
I see Kevin Uhas dropping a prediction in there. That might be a bit much, but we'll have some fun with predictions. Of course, the contract Dave is trying to break is the one Craig Counsell set a couple years ago, 5 years, $40 million. Dave should be able to clear that pretty easy. He's probably going to be getting $10 million a year, maybe more. But the thing I wonder is like how long? Obviously, Dave's going to be around. as long as he wants to. But how long does he really want to marry himself to the job? Like, are we looking at a 4, 5, 6-year deal, 8-year deal? Because he's entering year 10 now. Like, how long do you want to do this job, Dave? And does he want to be somebody who outlasts like a Lasorda or Walt Alston, or does he want to have like maybe a nice 15 and then go out and play some golf and maybe dance with Ice Cube or something like that? Like, he's got to explore other spaces maybe at some point.
Yeah, how old is Dave?
60 some odd.
He is.
He is an age.
He's an age. He's 52. 60 some odd. Man,
I was way off.
Christ.
I meant 50 some odd.
50.
Just go with it.
I do think it'll be a little shorter. I have like this weird theory that they're gonna time up a lot of things with Freddie's contract. That's kind of where I think Glasnow's contract's up at the same time. Snell, I think, has like a year after Freddie, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 4-year deal, right? 3-year deal. How much longer does Freddie have? He's 3 years.
3.
No,
yeah.
4. 3 years. Yeah, he has 3 years left on his
yeah.
deal. Yeah. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 3-year deal. Just to time it up with Freddie a little bit, and then they'll reevaluate from there. But I think it's just going to be an open invitation. We'll do 3 years, see if there's any movement in the market. You win another one, we'll give you another raise. If you want to call it quits, go sell some wine, go nuts, crazy.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a dude who can go out and golf. He could watch. Well, I guess his kids have already grown up. He can hang out with his wife. He could play with his wine. I think he's got some sort of stakes in some.
He can hang out with his
somewhere.
wine, play with his wife.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa. My man. So if you're throwing a prediction out there, I'm already seeing a few people. Cole saying 4 years and $40 million, so that's 10 a year. Elisheva is saying a 5-year deal for Dave. Again, we saw one that said, what was it, $100 million over 5 years. That's a bit steep there. I think that was Yuha. 6 years, $100 million is what he said. Definitely a bit steep. And S says 1 year, $12 million. If you're throwing a bold prediction out there, what's doesn't even need to be bold, but you're throwing a prediction out there. What number do you have in your head?
I have 3 for 30.
How about 3 for 36?
10.
Can you do 3 for 35?
It's not my money, but yeah, I mean, they should honestly just hand him a blank check and just go, okay, you can like write a number down and we'll figure it out for there. BC says they should get rid of Freddie when he's only a couple seasons for 3,000 hits, but wants to keep Taylor forever. I'm not saying they're going to get rid of Freddie. I just said that's when his contract's up. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to reevaluate things at that time because let's be honest, there's a good chance Freddie might not want to keep playing baseball. He also has kids who are going to be growing up at that time. Yeah. And he's already won 2 World Series. He's already a Hall of Famer. Like, these guys have lives. So
that is fair. Diane saying 5 and 50, and that's kind of the ballpark I'm looking at. I do think he ends up going with a 5-year deal. I think it rewards him for what he's given to this team, and also all of the bullshit that he's had to put up with from people like us, smarter people than us, less smart people than us, talking crap about him, saying every move and every decision he's ever made is wrong and whatever it may be. And also, again, if this is a team that can go out there and invest back-to-back off seasons, over $1 billion and then just around $1 billion in players, you would think that they can invest in their manager just to let him know, listen, we love you. We want this to work. We want you to feel good. And there's also kind of that, I mean, I don't think the manager is in Shohei's, he could opt out if any sort of.
I don't think that
Dave's not in that. It's Andrew and Mark Walter, right?
Yeah. That's, or at least that's what's been revealed. So. But yeah, those were the 2 names that he's tied to. Somebody did mention they should do 9 for 90, go out when Shohei's done. I don't think the Dodgers as an organization would give a manager 9 years.
Plus, we all know Chris Taylor's the next manager of the Dodgers.
Oh, good God.
Maybe Justin Turner. He's almost done, right?
He's playing in Chicago.
He's too busy. Know. Hey, wait, yeah. Where's your Mariners hat? I think JT wants something to. JT has something to say about that hat. You put it away. All right, that's a good call.
No, I got it.
This guy went to one game at Peoria Sports Complex, and all of a sudden,
it's a sick hat.
That's a fire hat, though.
This is a sick hat.
I'm gonna give you some points for that hat. I like the hat. Not a fan of the team, but I'm also not a fan of the team.
It was that or a Padres logo. Guess which one I picked.
Good call. My man, Richie Flores with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Richie. Saying Richie's spring training update CT3 performance has been like a bowl of menudo in a Chinese restaurant. It's non-existent. Dave gets 5 years. Yeah. Chris Taylor. It wouldn't be a show on the internet if CT3 wasn't catching strays just for fun. But there's your Dave Roberts situation. Hopefully something happens before I'm out there talking to him on next Monday evening. Alana Rizzo and I will be at Camelback Ranch talking to Dave on Dodgers territory. From my understanding, we are going to be live, so we won't be live here on Monday, but guys, make sure you tube into the Dodgers territory YouTube channel where I have another show with myself, Alana Rizzo, and this guy Dave Roberts. So we should have some contract either clarity or whatever else. So that'll be happening. And also, I had said it on DT earlier. So I'm going to be in Arizona all next week. I don't know what the week is going to look like in terms of content here. I know what we're doing on DT. I'm going to have to find spots to do things on our channel here. So what I'm throwing out for folks, if you're interested, leave a voicemail. I want to do a voicemail show with me and Alana, probably at Camelback Ranch. Call in 562-373-4095. Call in over the weekend. And up until like Monday night, we'll probably do something Tuesday. But if you have something you want to ask me, ask Alana, anything, be reasonable, be respectful. I will be screening these voicemails for sure. Or send a text, also that same number, and we can get you in there. I don't even know if that show will be live or pre-recorded. Very, very in the air about what content looks like next week here on the channel. But there's your Dave Roberts talk. Should be coming soon, and it'll probably be somewhere in the 10 mil a year over 3, 4, 5, or 6 year span.
6 is so long. It
feels very long. I agree. I very much agree.
5 feels really long. If you're asking, like, that's a long, like, the sports, it's what have you done for me lately? It takes a couple postseason exits too fast, and everybody wants his head again. So
that's fair.
I do think they're going to want to keep their optionality at the manager position.
I mean, it's just money, right? If they have to fire him,
it's just money.
Dodgers will say they fired some roster cuts off today. As I almost had the segue, but
almost.
Anyways,
so close.
Let's get into some more. Hey, listen, I'm doing it later than I'm used to. When I do it this late, usually my hat is forward and Jeff Snyder does all the heavy lifting. So, if you want to do some heavy lifting, thanks. No.
You're the one pressing the buttons.
This is fair. I do have the 1s and 7s here, but the second round of roster cuts happened for your Los Angeles Dodgers today. No real surprises at all. 5 dudes off of the roster or reassigned to minor league camp, we should say. Griffin Lockwood Powell, who we've seen playing a lot of first base. Chris Oakey, who's caught a lot while Will Smith was sidelined. Alex Freeland, who had himself a decent game today. Austin Gauthier, another one of those guys who is a minor league infield option. Cody Hosey, who I'm surprised they knew existed on the roster. All of them reassigned to minor league camp, and most of them are people we could see at the big league level this season, namely those last 3. If there are injuries, like if Max Muncy has an injury that's going to keep him out for a while, I would not be surprised to see them to say, fuck it, let's finally give Cody Hosey a try. He's just buried at AAA. But 52 players left on the active roster. A whole bunch of those will go on the injured list. Again, no
26 of them to be exact. Oh, the injured list. I thought you meant like
opening day. Got you. What do you think about this? Anything? Like I said, no real surprises here, right?
No, not at all. These are all guys that they know, despite Cody Hosey being buried. These are guys that they know exist. So they don't need too many eyes on them. And not to, throw dirt on a grave, but Austin Gauthier has not done himself any favors this spring training, unfortunately. And kind of hoping he would. But.
Ouch. What this guy
I was hoping he'd do something.
Oh, well, I thought you were saying he would do himself some favors. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was hoping he would, because
help out.
He's somebody that a lot of prospect guys are kind of bullish on, and I wanted to see him, kind of stick his foot in the door and see if he could, make a run at being, kind of that first name called up for infield depth if needed. if depending on what they think of Hae-Sung Kim when the time comes. So
Yeah, I mean, a good thing. Another one of those guys you're talking about. Freeland's had himself a decent enough spring, kind of showed out wherever he's played. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I do know. I think he put up a 3-hit game today, if I'm not mistaken, today or yesterday. I think that was him. Again, I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of the game today. I do know Dustin May shoved a little bit. We'll talk about D May in just a second. Another guy right there, Jackson Ferris, Matty Man 5 Dodge, talking about that. Jackson Ferris in the game, looking good. What do you got?
Freeland's done well.
Yeah,
he's got a 1.1 OPS. I don't know. They don't do the game logs, but yeah.
We got another $1.99 super chat from our friend Richie Flores. Says, can the Dodgers put CT3 on the 162-day IL? Sources, no, they cannot. Unfortunately,
this is so bad. Would it be better if he just suffers not like a devastating injury, but an injury that puts him out exactly as long as the regular season?
I mean, that would be tough.
It would be really tough, but
does that work? I think that works.
Yeah. And somebody asked, "Is that a kettle or coffee machine behind me?" That's a kettle.
For the longest time, I thought it was one of those soda streams.
No, so there's a soda stream in front of it. There's the black things. The black thing with that hand is the soda. I don't know where the hell my fingers are. The black thing's the soda stream. The silver thing's the.
There it is. And then the dark void on your left.
Yeah, it's where my dog lives. I don't know. I don't know how to do this yet. It's all reversed and backwards and.
Yeah. Pets' heads are falling off. We get it. Diane also pointing out, good game for Michael Conforto. 3 for 3. Dave Roberts had some nice things to say about Mikey Conforto. I'm not here to talk about Michael Conforto today. We wanted to make this a shorter, tighter stream for the folks in the back, and we got to talk about before we talk Dustin May and more things from today's game. I want to talk about Shohei Ohtani because the Dodgers did reveal, if we're going that way, that he's taken a small step backwards in his pitching progression, i.e. he has not thrown a bullpen session in, I think the number was 9 days, his last bullpen session. He's still throwing the baseball. He's still keeping the arm loose, all that kind of stuff. But, as Dave Roberts said, keeping the swing, getting the swing dialed is more of an important focus for the team right now, and that's not the screen we want. We want this guy right there, Jack Harris, LA Times, still playing catch. Been more than a week since that last bullpen session, and the Dodgers are slow playing Ohtani at this point, which I am not mad at all. I had a little bit of blind faith or blind hope that maybe Ohtani would face some hitters before they left to Tokyo and maybe could get an inning in under his belt against the Angels at Dodger Stadium or Angel Stadium for that Freeway Series. Now, pretty much a hard no instead of a likely no. And I'm not mad at this. He's still just a few months removed from labrum surgery, tearing that tissue in his shoulder. He's also working on that new slide, which he's got a lot of things going on. And I like the way
if he pulls that out mid-game. Have you watched a full speed video of it? It is not fast.
No, he could have stolen a base or he could have got a double in what was it, the game against the Angels or something like that a couple days ago.
Yeah,
he could have very easily got a double, but got hosed. Great throw from the right fielder, but if he was running the way he's used to and sliding the way he's used to and not thinking about his steps and whatever, I think he would have been fine. But again, keeping the arm moving, keeping the arm fresh, and just putting bullpens back a couple weeks until the team comes back from Tokyo. And I'm not mad at this. I think a big reason I'm not mad at this, and I would argue that it's the best case scenario for Shohei and this team long term, because he doesn't need to be ready for opening day. He doesn't need to be ready for May, which was one of the numbers they were looking at, or one of the months they were looking at. Get him slightly before the All-Star break. You have enough pitching. You have enough starting pitching to keep things alive, without Shohei out there. Do you feel different about that?
No, I agree. like a big point here is this had nothing to do with his injury. His
Yeah.
arm didn't flare up, at least as far as we know. It's the Dodgers. You never necessarily can be confident, 100% confident in these things, but it feels like they're kind of treating him as that first guy up in case of injury, or when they inevitably have to send somebody to the injured list for like just a quick, like a once through the rotation, or if somebody needs to start skipping. Um, that's kind of how I feel like they're treating it. I also have a sneaking suspicion that the guy we're about to talk about next had a hand to play based on how good he's looked.
Yeah.
And same with his counterpart Tony Gonsolin, and these guys are healthy, so I think they want to give them that chance and see if they can, cement themselves in the rotation. Because for all intents and purposes, Tony Gonsolin doesn't need a 6-day rotation or 6-man rotation. He's supposed to take the ball. He's done it before, and he will. So him and Blake Snell, you got two guys. So that's just not to mince my words too much, but I have a feeling the guy we're going to talk about next has a little bit to do with why they're slowing Shohei down, because they definitely don't need him immediately.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit around it a couple minutes ago, but we got to look at Dustin May here. Nice outing today. 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Got the strikeouts. I think 2 of the strikeouts on the slider.
One on the sinker that I don't
get. He had the most the I guess
he hit the Manny Machado sinker again.
20, I think a career high 24 inches of run is what I saw, one of the metrics I saw. But Dustin May doing something special for this team, doing something important for himself and for his career. I'm going to pin it for a second because I completely forgot to do one thing much earlier in the show, and I should have done it right at the top. Guys, I'm going to apologize to BetOnline for just doing this now, but BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. They have the largest selection of odds on everything from the NBA, from college basketball, NHL, UFC. We're talking college basketball. It's important. It is March Madness coming up, so BetOnline should be your number one sports betting source here in the month of March. They have every three-pointer, every hat trick. BetOnline, they have you covered, all the odds, stats, and more. Every game, every play, every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Thank you. Sorry, BetOnline, for getting you in here late, but we'll get back into the show now. Dustin May. Again, Dustin May, very good today. And I agree with you. I think D-May, I think Tony Gonsolin. I'll maintain again, I'll reiterate something I have iterated a number of times. I believe Tony Gonsolin was going to be the number 5 starter for this team to open the season either way. Dustin May definitely showing that maybe he should be somebody that's at the bare minimum a piggyback option for some of these guys early in the season if they're not built up. Still, maybe he's not starting, but he's still going out there pitching 3 or 4 innings. Alana and I were talking about this earlier in Dodgers territory. They can be creative with this starting staff, with this rotation. They have the ability to be creative and save some innings, save some bullets for these guys that are going to be much more important a couple months from now. So, importantly, Dave liked what he saw out of D-May, which, of course, he's going to like that. Dustin May felt good, and he did talk a little bit about his role and kind of where he's at. He says he would strongly prefer to start, unsurprisingly, but at the same time, he's open to a bullpen role. I feel like my opinion has swayed the most, or my instinct has changed the most on where Dustin May ends up, because I agree with you more now than I would have a week ago on the idea of D-May being in the starting rotation. But also, it's like, if they're going to put him in the bullpen, just do it and get it out of the way. I don't know. Maybe this Shohei thing does open that pathway to some starts for Dustin over the first month or two.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is his walk year. I think they kind of owe it to him. I guess you don't really owe him anything, except for a paycheck. But I think they want to do right by him and see if he can reestablish himself as a starter. I mean, he certainly looked the part. Goes 3 innings, like you said. He's got some length there. I don't see why he couldn't be a starter and just go from there. I guess they could do the whole, use an opener and then get him back in there. I don't like whoever. If he's stop saying starters and just use bulk guy. If he can just be the bulk guy all the time or every 5 days, sure. I think that's something they should at least play around with early on. And if there isn't any success, you can move him to the bullpen. And oh look, Shohei Ohtani's just like sitting around ready to pitch.
Slide right in, and we also know
doesn't have to take a 26-man roster spot either. So,
or at least he doesn't need to take one of the. Oh yeah, that's right,
No,
because he's already
he's
going to be on there as a hitter, and he wouldn't take.
They bent that rule again to the Dodgers' benefit.
Another guy who's probably going to be available a little bit earlier than we initially thought, Clayton Kershaw. We saw him today. This guy, some nobody. Used to pitch for the Dodgers, Los Angeles Dodgers. They call him the Minotaur.
That's one of who wrote that?
I don't know who did that, but also who still has that on Baseball Reference. But they need to be fired.
It is so good. Is it still there? It's still there.
And the claw. Anyways,
no one has a Kid K. No one who came up with these.
Nando390 says, geez, retire Kershaw. Don Kim, thank you. We got Tony Crenshaw. My bad, I missed that one. Jose says this show sucks. I'm guessing saying at 11:40 or just this show sucks.
114p. He's like the resolution.
Oh,
this man's streaming the show from the 90s.
Guys, for just 10 cents a day, you can get Jose better internet. Or something like that. Or for just $5 a month, you could join us on Discord via Patreon or YouTube members, or 99 cents on YouTube members if you want emojis and stuff on here. But anyways, moving on. I agree, and I think Dustin May gives this team, affords this team the opportunity to take it even slower with Shohei, slower than they really need to make sure that Shohei is as ready to go as possible, but more so when he is it's a green light, he is ready to go, he's plugged back into that starting rotation, he stays there. That's what I care about. Get Shohei in there, and he stays there. And meanwhile, the first half of the season, he could rake at an MVP level like we saw last year, and he doesn't need to worry so much about the pitching. And then it'll still be a slow play to get him built back up to a starter's workload anyways. So tits with a tits, and Dodgers, once again, bunch of really, really good options. So there's your main storylines and things from camp today over the last couple of days, guys. If you've enjoyed any of it so far, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't yet. We appreciate it. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers, and if you can't help us get there, what good are you? That's just mean. It's unnecessary, But let's read a couple of comments here, and then we'll get into our next segment. I'm calling it Progress Report. We're going to talk about Mookie, but anything popping up? For you in the chat?
Actually, Ray's asked more days on the IL: Kershaw, Scherzer, or Verlander.
Man,
I spoiled my answer in the chat.
I got Verlander. Let me find you.
I have Scherzer.
That's also fair.
His arm. I don't know. Also, that might be like slight opium. I don't know. You never wish for a guy to get injured. I'm still not over those comments.
Benjamin Su, son, Benjamin Su, saying Shinsuke Handyman, who has a YouTube channel here on the YouTube, posting video from Camelback Ranch and spring training he's done it the last couple of years. I love following Shinsuke and what they do over there in that channel, what he does. But they, whatever it is, maybe it's a news network, I don't know. But pointing out there was video of Shohei Ohtani throwing today. Was throwing alongside Clayton Kershaw, mind you, but not in the bullpen, just throwing, and that falls in line with what we're saying. Hey, we're keeping the ball moving, we're keeping the arm loose and all that kind of stuff. But he's not going to throw, not going to throw downhill for a little bit longer.
Nope. Which is fine. It was cool to see
Totally
Kershaw do a little. He did a little wind up. I hadn't seen that in a minute, so that was cool.
Oh, well,
Yeah, a little up down.
the
1, 2, 3.
Minotaur is what we call him here.
I need whoever
Just want to
wrote
talk.
these nicknames in. I want to know who that is more than I want to know who didn't vote for Ichiro.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing too. I was like, I just want to do that Ichiro thing where it's like, let's have dinner. I just want to talk. Hey, I just want to talk. I just want to talk. That's all we're saying here. Guys, if you're enjoying any of this, mash that like button. If you're not, definitely mash that like button. Let's move on. Let's talk about we got to talk Mookie Betts because we haven't talked Mookie Betts what feels like for a couple of weeks.
It's been a couple of weeks.
To me, that feels like a really good thing. If we're not talking Mookie, we're not talking about his shortstop progression. It must mean he's living that middle reliever life where you do your job, you don't get talked about. You do your job, you don't have reporters really coming up to you. And he made it very well known, bruh, I don't want to talk to you guys this spring right now. I'm focusing on me. I'm trying to go out there, run this shit back, get another title. So no news. It's got to be good news, right? What do you like about seeing Mookie at the 6th spot in the scorecard?
He looks smooth, like really smooth, really athletic. I know you've got some videos queued up about this, but he just looks, I don't know, like an elite athlete. He just does, and it looks
Breaking
seamless,
news.
it looks flawless. I know, crazy.
Elite athlete is elite athlete at new position.
Yes, exactly.
That's
he looks
what I
great.
wanna get.
It's a complete 180 from last year, at least. I mean, just looking on the screen, it's just running to his right, dropping the arm a little bit. Getting compared a little bit to Troy Tulowitzki here.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Tulo factor there
and why that's important in a minute. Yeah, it looks really good. It looks smooth. Every throw has been on time, on target, to steal an NFL phrase. So we knew this was a possibility. You give the guy an actual offseason to work on something, and hey, look, the best player in baseball looks competent at a position on the diamond. I don't know. Water's wet, grass is green, sky's blue.
And taxes are due in a couple of weeks. No, I love seeing what we're seeing out of Mookie, and like you said, we're seeing on the screen here. To borrow and kind of butcher a Dave Roberts a Docism here. It seems like he has some different clubs in the bag now when it comes to the arm angles, and that makes a lot of sense. Where this dude has been at over the course of his career in the outfield, the outfield, you kind of throw up, you throw more over the top. Think of old school, even Jeff Kent at second base. He was always very much right here, get rid of the baseball. But Mookie doing it with a little bit of style, a little bit of flair. He has arm angles. It's going to take him more time to probably get used to the timing of things, like we talked about a couple weeks back with Corey Seager being one, Justin Turner being one, who they had the internal clock, but they've been playing the infield all of their lives. Mookie hasn't played infield for the last 10-15 years of his life consistently. So to give him more time, it's just going to keep getting better. But so far, fully agree with you. I love what we're seeing out of the kid, and I can still call him a kid there. It's a smooth arm action, and you mentioned the Troy Tulowitzki thing. We saw that headline a couple weeks ago that he was working with Tulo in the offseason on his throws and the position overall. And I love what Chad Moriyama did here over at Dodgers Digest, putting this clip package together of the two making almost the identical play at the shortstop position. You don't keep your feet moving. You keep your feet moving. Yep. This is what we were talking about before going live, and that's what we're seeing. That is what we're seeing with Marcus here.
It makes the most sense because he is such an athlete that it looked funky for him to gather himself and then throw. In the outfield, he was his best throws, he's spinning and just chucking it, and it's just perfect. He's not a big gather, and he didn't look like a big gather and throw guy, and that's just early last year. That's what it looked like he was doing, and he's overthrowing things. Like he was a little too much in his head. But getting advice or working with the 2-time Gold Glove winner at shortstop, a menace to the Dodgers while he was with the Rockies. So glad he retired.
And at the same time, working with guys like Chris Woodward, who came with critical acclaim from somebody like Justin Turner and Corey Seager. There's a reason, besides the money and not wanting to be a Dodger anymore because he wanted to be able to hide in Texas or whatever. But Chris Woodward was manager. That Chris Woodward was a big reason that Corey signed. With the Texas Rangers.
With Texas.
He wanted to be with Woody. It didn't work out for him even slightly, but I think there's something to this progression, and I think what we're seeing, I got mentioned in a comment thread, and I didn't respond to it. It wasn't just me being a dick. I just forgot to respond to it. But I got mentioned in a comment thread that our buddy Scott Gearman had posted about like something this, along the same lines. Mookie looking really, really good at shortstop, and somebody in the comments called me and my buddy Greg Berkman out about. There's some people out there that, it was more like playful, but some people out there didn't trust the process. And listen, early on, the shock value of hearing Mookie Betts is going to be our shortstop, it was a lot. And there's every reason to question, why would you go with that instead of trying to land an elite shortstop when at the time Willy Adames was available? You can make some sort of trade, maybe a Bo Bichette, and try to resurrect his career sort of thing. It's like, why would the Dodgers, this version of the Dodgers, try to go with Mookie Betts? Then I sat on it for a couple of weeks. We kind of talked more about it, understanding he would get a full off season of reps and working. And this is Mookie Betts we're talking about here. He's going to put in the work. He has every resource and more to make sure that he is the best version of whatever he needs to be. In this case, a shortstop. And the last time I had Greg on, he was super critical about Mookie going to shortstop, and I was like. He asked me, like, why are the Dodgers being so stupid about this? Like, this seems like a dumb move. And my retort is like, because if it works, they are fucking geniuses. And right now, they're pushing.
They're looking good.
They're pushing towards that geniuses. Because if you could all of a sudden just move your Gold Glove right fielder to become maybe a Gold Glove. Yeah, exactly. Important. If you can make him your shortstop, and he wants to get some more gold on that glove at shortstop, they're going to look real smart, man. God damn, they're going to look smart.
Natty Man 5 Dodge with a $5 super chat says, let's remember it was Kevin who called Mookie when no one believed it. Good for you, man.
I'll also give you...
having faith in the, I don't know, probably one of the best baseball players I've ever seen now.
I'm still going to maintain... I'm going to give you very little credit on it. I'm just going to maintain that you were doing it for the shock value of the offseason to give us content.
Yep, absolutely.
No?
As soon as it fails, I'm going to walk it all right back.
Yep. Sounds like my last co-host. I was telling you guys. I've literally been telling you. Anyways, love you, Doug. We'll get you on the show real soon, buddy. But yeah, this is where we're at. This is a good spot for the Dodgers. Anthony Keene saying Mookie was mad suspect at short last year. Let's be real, and that's part of why I had kind of that narrative. But then again, you read closer, you step back and you look at the whole situation and you understand, again, this was a dude who spent his entire offseason to get good at second base and was told 10 days, 14 days before opening day. So shortstop?
I think it was 9.
Oh yeah.
I think he got 9 days.
It was permanent for now. Yeah.
God, that was the best quote of the entire season. It was temporarily permanent or whatever.
Pin Sanity. It was on that same smoking that same stuff you were believing Mookie was going to be the shortstop too. Again, if it works and it looks like it works. Dodgers.
You know what's a great fallback plan? Mookie Betts back in the outfield. I don't know, it's.
Every season the Dodgers have started with Mookie Betts at shortstop and moved him to back to the outfield. They have won a World Series.
It's true. Also, but at the same time, not every season. No, the other World Series they did win, they started him in right field and kept him there.
Yeah, exactly. So we just we'll have some fun with it. We'll play around with it or something like that.
Yeah, we'll just do mental gymnastics the entire season. That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
That's what the internet is for. You get to just make up whatever the hell you want at any point you want. Any last thoughts on Mookie before we get out of here?
Nope. I think so. Actually, somebody did say his bat needs to wake up. Not worried about his bat. I actually think he's been pretty okay. So.
He started on fire. He's kind of hit a little bit of more of a cold spell, but he did just hit the dinger, whatever. He kind of threw the bat head at it a little bit there. But Yeah, we're here. That's I didn't want to make this too long of a show. Again, it's late for this guy. It's late for all of us. Matty Man 5 Dodge. I'm assuming you're talking to us. We appreciate it since you make this place interesting and the convos are lively, bro. Assuming you're talking to us, but if not, we'll take the compliment anyways. We try to have fun here. We try to mix people in here. Diane says I forgot Richie's super chat. No, I didn't. We got that in there. We got the CT3 one in there, and I got the Chinese restaurant in there. So. Richie, what are you smoking? You're watching on the big TV right now, Richie. Come on.
Yeah.
But unless I miss him, it's. I think we got him.
Not that we're. I'd be half wishing for Chris Taylor to, suffer a non-devastating 6-month injury, which I don't know. Get the Wemby. Just get the Wemby. Just develop a DVT in your shoulder, and then just take blood thinners for the rest of your life.
Something like that. Before we get out of here,
I make it very clear I don't wish this upon Chris Taylor.
Yeah, right. I think that's
it gets good. And this is like taken out of context.
Matty Man 5 Dodge saying that Richie's watching in his 114p. It's a callback, guys. You really got to listen to the whole show. Reminder before we get out of here, guys. Monday it should be a double dip of Dodgers territory. I don't expect to do any sort of content here on the channel. Maybe while we're out there, I'm going to have some time to kill. I might just go live on the phone. I'll try to figure some things out, but for sure, Tuesday, we should have some version of a show, or I should. I don't even know how I would get this guy mixed in, so we might not see him and I together until I get back from Arizona. But
really, it could just be a really shoddy show. Just do like two faces.
I don't do shoddy, my dude. It was funny. I was even thinking about this too. It's like I have one of the Blue Eddy battery boxes or whatever. It's like, so if I bring the Mac and I plug into that, and all I need is a webcam, and I could use my DJI mics, like I can make it work. I'm gonna make it work. Trust. I'm a crackhead. I can make this kind of stuff work. But what I was going to tell people is I am going to try to figure out a voicemail show, me and Alana, on this channel. So guys, do call in. You see the voicemail hotline number down below, 562-373-4095. Call in, leave a voicemail, question, comment, be smart, be funny, spark conversation, try to get something good out of Riz, whether it's something about her career, something about the Dodgers this year, something about hanging out with the Dodgers of the past, all that kind of stuff. Don't be weird, be respectful, don't get me slapped.
Yeah, seriously. And if you're weird, we'll know. And
yeah, I'm not going to play the voicemail. Yeah, it might not be live, or leave a text on that same number. But that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this Thirsty Thursday stream. The comments, the questions, the engagement here in the chat. You guys rock as always. And thank you so much for the super chats as well. Richie, got you twice, I believe. Again, if I missed you, I did not mean it. We tried our best. Thank you to our channel members and our Patreon supporters for helping to keeping the show alive, keep it going, try to give us our best opportunity to bring you the best content possible with lights and cameras and action and all that kind of stuff. If you are looking for a different way to support the show, support us, support independent Dodgers coverage here on the internet, check it out check out our Patreon, patreon.com/realfrg, or the other one, YouTube members, just click join button here on the internet, on the YouTube. All the links are also in the description of this video below. It's $5 a month. It's less than the price of a Dodger dog. You can support all that kind of stuff, and with that you get access to our Discord chat where we're talking about Dodger baseball all day long, all that kind of stuff. Shout out to our mods for doing a kick-ass job. All Dodgers is presented by Bet Online. That is producer Kevin. Give him a follow at Skinner7Kevin on the Twitter. I am RealFRG on all the things. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Where's the button? I have a button for it. It's definitely there.